just as well. So
been doing it for a while.
Yeah, he's been doing that for a while.
Yep. Look at this guy.
Okay. Would you buy minerals from this guy? We certainly hope so.
And I think he's wearing the same tie today.
I am, actually.
Yeah.
Yep. Good deal.
Yep, he's a fan of the bolo tie. That's clearly a fashion trend that is going to need to come back.
Oh, absolutely. And I really like this one. This one's actually a druzy quartz over Chrysocolla from the Ray Mine.
Fantastic. I left my bolo tie collection at home, but we're definitely looking forward to expanding out our sartorial splendor and getting into the bolo ties.
Yes.
I recommend it.
He's a trendsetter, dude.
He is.
And one of those trends is coming to the collector's edge.
Yes.
Christopher has joined us recently, and as I prepare for my wonderful retirement, Christopher's going to be picking up my slack and traveling the country to show minerals to customers all over the eastern United States. So you will get to know Christopher very well at shows and around the country. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Christopher. How'd you get into minerals?
So I got into minerals. I'd been a gemologist for a while. And about 2013, 2014, I got put on a project to co-edit the Cis Gemology Reference, which is a 3-volume set that was written by Jerry Sisk.
And what's the price of that set?
It's $199.99 for a 3-volume set. It's a bargain.
It is. I mean, it's a bargain.
Find a 3-volume set of that quality
and
for that price.
That's right. Where would people find that?
At jtv.com. Just go to jtv.com/SGR and you can find it there.
That's right. And it has a lot of beautiful mineral photos that he was a part of taking some of the photos.
Yeah, and it's a book that's done by a jewelry and gemstone company, but they have a lot of love for minerals. They personally have a very nice internal mineral collection that they've built up over the years, a lot of which started with the SGR. Jerry wrote a lot about the crystal habits of minerals or gems and minerals as well. So the book actually has great photography of minerals as well as jewelry and gem, and Collector's Edge was a big part of that book because we didn't own a lot of those when I was there. So those came in for photography, and I had to learn a lot about minerals very quickly to know what needed to be imaged. What does a mineral collector want to see on this mineral specimen? So I spent a couple of years working with a photographer, Jim Wells, who also produced it, to get these images for the book. And that pretty much sunk me right there. So I started adding to my own personal mineral collection then and there, and have been building it ever since. And working with these guys as a client actually helped me out to help me to learn a lot. And this led me to here.
Well, it's great to have you with us. I know you're going to have a wonderful career here at Collector's Edge. There's nothing better than playing with mineral specimens every day. It's like not going to work. Some people have suggested I should pay the company for the exercise of getting to play with some of the world's finest mineral specimens on a day-to-day basis. And he's going to have the fun of helping us at the HardRock Summit.
Yes.
You'll be able to meet Christopher at the HardRock Summit, which is coming up in the next week or two. It's September 16th through the 19th.
And I'll be at the Crown Plaza beforehand.
That's right. You will be. You will be. And so they wanted to make the HardRock Summit as confusing as possible. So not only do they call it the HardRock Summit, but our show, the show that has mineral crystal specimens galore, will be called the Evolution Show. And their subtitle says that it has minerals, fossils, meteorite, gemstones, and jewelry. And this is going to be at the Colorado Convention Center, Four Seasons Ballroom. Colorado Convention Center is a killer facility. And it's first-class, world-class facility. I'm so happy that the shows are starting to transition here into this facility. The Denver Gem and Mineral Show, which always was in a kind of a seedy, run-down building called the Denver Merchandise Mart, the Expo building. That building is being torn down. Yep, that's what it used to look like, and it was still standing while we were at the last show there, but it is no more. And so that show, Denver Gem and Mineral Show, the original one, is moving to the Colorado Convention Center, along with Dave Weissman's Fine Mineral Show, Denver, Colorado Fine Mineral Show, that used to be out at the Marriott Denver West. And so both of those shows will be down at the HardRock Summit. And even though not a lot of us that watch the show are avid gemstone collectors, but the American Gem Trade Association, AGTA, will also be coming to the HardRock Summit in a show they call the Sparkle and Joy.
Yes.
Which seems appropriate.
So for you rough and cut collectors out there, this is going to be a great opportunity to put together some really fine rough and cut sets.
Now, are people going to be able to get into Sparkle and Joy if they don't have all the licensing and whatnot as commercial dealers, commercial vendors? What do people know about that?
Not too sure. Usually, if you have a business card, you can sign up on, like with the AGTA show in Tucson. If you have a business card and you show up with the right documentation, you can get in. So they just want to. It's typically a trade show, so they do want to know you're in the industry. Although industry folks can basically sponsor or get some of their clientele in as well.
Yeah. So things are changing in Denver, just like they are in Tucson with the Gem and Mineral Show layouts. But one of the things in Denver that stayed consistent, and it's a killer show, and we're going to have a huge booth out there, and that is the Colorado Mineral and Fossil Show Fall. I think you have to scooch fall in between.
Yes.
Colorado Mineral and Fossil Fall Show. So, you have to put that in there. But there's 175 dealers at this location, and the Collector's Edge has a huge booth. We have a 50-foot long booth with lots of lighted display cases, both selling our half-off merchandise, our Keystone merchandise. Lots of great specimens, and we've been adding merchandise ever since the close of the Tucson show. Almost everything you're going to see down there is brand spanking new. We got a huge shipment from Namibia, so a lot of things from the Cockerveld Plateau, dioptase, shadokite, a number of things from the Orongo Mountains, the wonderful aquamarine crystals, amethyst crystals from the Brandberg deposit and from the Goboboseb Mountains, and just going to be a wonderful selection of fine minerals down there. And one of the things that we'll be showing are brand new finds out of Afghanistan. So we'll have some cool things there as well.
Which we've got one of those today.
Do we?
We do.
We do indeed.
Now, when is the show starting down at the Colorado Mineral and Fossil Fall Show?
That would be this Friday, right?
I think so.
The 10th.
The 10th.
Through the 18th.
Through the 18th. It closes on the end of the day, Saturday.
Right.
But if you still have a hankering for minerals, the HardRock Summit will be open on the 19th. So you can see, if you're in just for that weekend, you can see the show out at the Crown Plaza on the 18th, and then come down to the Downtown Convention Center in Denver, Colorado, and see the HardRock Summit.
Absolutely.
And the HardRock Summit's going to be featuring 4 spectacular pieces there as well.
It is. There will be some killer rhodochrosites that are world famous from 4 different museums. The Alma King from the Denver Museum of Nature and Science, the Alma Queen from the Houston Museum of Natural Science, the Alma Rose from the Rice Museum in Hillsboro, Oregon, and then the Colorado School of Mines Natural Science Museum is also going to bring an incredible 18 karat gold rhodochrosite necklace called Catherine's Necklace. So 4 major specimens and item of jewelry will be on display down there at the HardRock Summit.
You've had a chance to fondle that necklace lately. You like that thing, Chris?
It's absolutely gorgeous. The gem quality on those, and as a gemologist, it always blows me away the lapidary skill to cut something like rhodochrosite with that softness, with the cleavages. I mean, just not even just the cutting, but when it gets down to the polishing, if you don't have the polishing just right with those cleavages, you'll just shear material right off.
Right. Yeah, and it's a stunning necklace. Was designed probably 20 years ago and has 18 karat gold, black enamel, and the incredible faceted rhodochrosite from the Sweet Home mine.
You want to whip through some of the new offerings we're going to be having at the show, or
I think we
leave
should.
it from last week? Okay.
Yeah, why not?
Why not?
And we got them all back from Sunnywood today.
We did.
We had about 20 of these incredible tourmalines out of the Democratic Republic of the Congo. Gemmy, wonderfully color-zoned tourmalines from the Democratic Republic of Congo, and we're going to have a wonderful selection of these specimens at the HardRock Summit. They're all beautifully mounted, so we're saving you a couple $100 per tourmaline, so you want to stop by the booth and go shopping for really wonderful bicolored tourmalines. And there's all manner of different colors. The different green hues that are in these tourmalines, just incredible. Some that are kind of limey green and then dark green and
little mint.
Yeah, a little minty green, just all sorts of greens, pinks, all wonderful range of colors that are observed in these Congo tourmalines.
Some real gem crystals in there.
Yes, there really are.
Yep. And of course, there's these fantastic new apatites.
Yeah,
Hopefully, we'll have a couple of those left.
Yeah, so we may have a couple of them.
This was the one I saw mounted today, right?
Yes, that's one of the
mounted on its Sunnywood base. That is an impressive piece.
Isn't that beautiful?
Absolutely.
And we have a scientist that many of you know that loves apatite, Dr. John. And he is studying these to see whether these are in fact twin crystals or some other growth habit that's even more exotic. So they're studying these right now as we speak to tell us a little bit more. And then one of the things I'm just blown away by, I absolutely love these aragonites. Brand new discovery in Helmand province in Afghanistan. Wonderful bright sky blue to Kelly mine blue green, and they're reniform to botryoidal masses of this aragonite, colored blue by copper ions. There's a fair amount of azurite in the deposit as well. We have some that have both this aragonite and the azurite present. And not only are these reniform masses to botryoidal groups, but they have wonderful prismatic crystals on some of the specimens as well. They're up to about 1 centimeter in length. They're nearly transparent, and they're transmitting some of the color of these azurite crystals underlying the and associated with the aragonite up through like a fiber optic coming up through the length of these prisms. So just really incredible stuff, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. Collector's Edge has acquired some collections recently, and one of the major collections has about 800 specimens in it that we prepared about 400 in time for the show, and those specimens will be both at the HardRock Summit and at the Crown Plaza show. So we'll have a nice mixture at both locations of brand new minerals. So a lot of fun stuff.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Can't wait. So hopefully we'll see you there.
Yeah.
All Well, that was a pretty good segue. You want to just go into specimen number 1?
Yeah. I did want to mention,
Oh, please do.
just briefly, that the HardRock Summit has some unusual hours. I think
They're banker hours.
They're banker hours.
Right.
It's running from 10 in the morning, all 4 days, 10 in the morning till 5 in the afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
So I think because it's sponsored by and hosted by the people who run the Munich show, the Kylemans, it must be beer 30 about 5 o'clock. So
Sure.
I think that's kind of a German Bavarian thing that 5 o'clock is a good time to go get a beer.
That
So
might
it's closing.
explain some of the graphics for Sparkle and Joy.
Things are becoming clearer.
It may very well. So it's going to be a great time in Denver. You won't want to miss the show this year. If you've been on the fence about whether or not to come, get in the car and drive over here. It doesn't take long, or hop on an airplane and come to Denver.
Yep.
Yeah, a lot of the shows haven't been active, but we certainly have been.
Yep.
So, all right. I guess we'll just head into specimen number 1. And, whoops, that is not specimen number 1. That is specimen number 1. Here we go.
And it's a killer.
Yep.
I was just bragging about how great these new Afghani aragonites are, and this thing is really one of the prettiest ones out of the lot we got. It exhibits both the lighter and darker kind of sky blue color, and shows this kind of botryoidal form. Just really incredible in the fact that the copper ions in this deposit have been picked up into the aragonite and coloring it so beautifully. So I think this is a specimen that you can't go wrong with owning. What's the size of this one, Rich?
This one measures 8 by 11 centimeters.
Yep.
Good size cabinet specimen. Yep.
And it's really clean. The Collector's Edge buys in very large quantities, and we bought several big lots of these. And a lot of the things that we saw that were being harvested out of this deposit in Afghanistan were horribly handled and dinged up and broken up. And so we feel like we might have secured the best lots out of this discovery, and we're really excited to bring them to market because they are much, much cleaner and more aesthetic than most of what we have seen being offered. So they're impressive things. They remind you a lot of hemimorphite from a lot of the areas around the world, these kind of reniform botryoidal masses, and also smithsonite, the blue-green ones. This happens to be more of the sky blue, but the blue-green ones are equally attractive, and you would swear you're looking at a beautiful specimen of Kelly Mine smithsonite with a number of these pieces. So there'll be a big splash of color in your collection cabinet. You'll definitely want to get one of these.
Absolutely. Love them. And the price on this one today is just $4,000. For one of the best pieces out of the batch, that's a pretty good deal.
It's very good.
Yep.
And it's big, 8 by 11 centimeters. That's a huge piece. So you can't pass up this one. I know $4,000 is we hardly ever offer specimens at that price point on Minerals Live, but I think that one will disappear very quickly. And if you want to get a hold of this, how do they get a hold of it, Rich?
Either you send us an email at minerals@collectorsedge.com, or pick your poison, Steve@collectorsedge.com, or Richard@collectorsedge.com.
Or Christopher.
Yeah, or Christopher. I'm
collectorsedge.com.
sorry, not to diminish that.
Yep. He can help you as well.
Absolutely.
And Richard wraps these things up and sends them out at no cost to you on the outbound leg.
Right.
So we'd love to get that aragonite out to you. Once you see that in your cabinet, you're going to be thrilled that you got that.
Yep. It's a great piece.
It's quite lovely.
Worthy of just one more spin on the
why not?
turntable.
Absolutely.
It's pretty on both, and the color on this is actually pretty daggum close to. It may have a little bit more green hue to my eye.
Well,
on the turntable.
The
But
contrast from light to dark is more vibrant or more impressive
Yes,
in
in
person.
person.
It
would
is.
be about the only thing I'd say.
Sure.
Yeah,
A little more dramatic in person.
Yeah.
Yep.
it's really lovely.
And the next piece is a Colorado classic. It's anchorite from the Eagle Mine.
And this is a piece out of, and it was just a minor piece, but one of the collections we bought recently, I mentioned had about 800 pieces in it. Well, it was built over about a 40-year period of time by a gentleman who was in the mining industry and had a lot of connections all over. And this is from the Eagle Mine in Gilman, Colorado. And it's a specimen of anchorite and sphalerite from the Eagle Mine. And I was really impressed with the size and condition of the anchorite. So many times you just see little, 5 millimeter size crystals. But this is a good size crystal. It's 1.7 centimeters on edge, really sharp, really well formed, and you can see the nicely formed black sphalerite all the way around this. And just a really lovely specimen. Classic from Colorado, from a now closed mining area there at the Eagle Mine in Gilman, Colorado.
This one was a new one to me. I had not heard of anchorite before.
Yeah. It's a carbonate. It's rhombohedral.
Yep. Pretty piece.
Yeah.
If you're a locality collector or species collector, it'd be a good snag.
Yeah. And what's the overall size of this one?
Overall dimensions are 8.5 by 11.5.
This is another big piece.
Right.
It's a good size piece, and as you'll see on the turntable, it's got a lot of the ore at the mine as well. Not
Right.
only does it have a beautiful display face with the anchorite crystals and the sphalerite, but you've got some vugginess here on the side, and some pyrite and other sulfide mineralization, as well as the carbonate mineralization. So really a wonderful piece, classic from Colorado, and Richard's giving this thing away today.
It's a gift. Let's see if I can find the right slide. I'm trying
There
to
it is.
peek around the microphone again. Here we go. There it is. Just $500.
That's
Shipping
a wonderful
included.
piece.
Yep.
Wonderful piece, and it's big, folks. 11.5, I would say. You're creeping up on what, about
4 inches or so?
4 inches and a half,
After
4.5 inches, something like that.
Yep. Nice piece.
Yeah.
Well, in the same collection, we got another beautiful Glendale quartz. This is Christopher's favorite piece of the show.
Oh, yeah. Love this one.
Let me see if I can get that one propped up safely.
So yeah, I've got a few of these myself from Italy and from Switzerland. Both smoky, just absolutely water clear, and even some that are chloride included. I've got open ones. I've got closed ones. This is one of, I think, the most fascinating forms of quartz. And this one is, I don't have one this size. This thing just looks like a cliff face. It's absolutely huge. And you can, and the light goes across it. You can see the curve in this piece. It's a nice counterclockwise twist. If you collect these, you can either be clockwise or counterclockwise in the ways the crystals go. And transparency is looking really good. It's a little sleepy when you have it in hand, but it's just like the light knows how beautiful the specimen is and wants to linger around inside a little bit before it comes out. And I don't know if we can see it, but right in the front, it's not showing up. There is a fan, almost like a peacock's tail, that is a full 180 degrees of a beautiful iridescent fracture that shows rainbow colors all in the front of it. That's just an extra hidden treat inside this specimen.
How neat.
It's so cool.
Yeah, it doesn't show in any of these still pictures either. But it's a great one.
Yeah, it's a lovely piece.
So there's going to be an extra toy surprise in the middle when you get it.
So what's the size of this one, Rich?
This one measures 9.5 by 11.5. If you're seeing a trend,
yes, it was the 11.5 day.
Right.
But 12.3
point to point.
point.
Yep.
Yeah.
This is a big boy.
Yep.
Yeah. And a
Love
lovely
that
specimen.
It is.
And again, this
Absolutely.
came out of the same collection that the anchorite and sphalerite did.
Right.
So just we're being able to offer some lovely things at very fair prices.
And aside from the height and length on this one's actually a lot thicker than most of the Gwendol's I have. A lot of them
True.
tend to be thinner, flatter. This one
Right.
is just a chunk.
It is. Yep. But everything's in really good condition. The
Yes.
points of the quartz are all nice and clean. Really a sharp piece and reasonably priced, as we were saying earlier, just $2,400.
Yep.
You know, an overused phrase would be a bargain at twice the price, and this one certainly is.
I estimated it
Yep.
over twice the price. I was surprised.
And it comes from Mount Blanc
Yes.
in Italy.
Yep.
So
It's a
and
classic.
I've been there twice.
Okay.
And the most important thing in Mont Blanc is to take the
tramway thing.
up to the top. And I've never been on it either time I was there. We were so busy the day before and on both trips that we stayed the night in Mont Blanc and we never made it up the daggum mountain.
The
Yeah.
next time you'll have
Yeah.
time to do it.
I know it. Yeah, I'm gonna be retired. I'll have plenty of time to go up the mountain.
Exactly. When Safa and I were there in 2013, we did that. It was beautiful down in Chamonix. We got on the tramway, and when we got off at the top, it was like 30 degrees and blowing 80 miles an hour.
Oh no.
And we were in shorts. And,
Yeah.
you know, it's like, oh my God.
Oh,
So if you go to the top, go
yeah,
prepared. For
that's
weather.
right for the change.
Yes.
Because what is it? Is it 12,000 or
Something like that.
Yeah,
Oh my
it's
God.
huge.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's an impressive. But I've never been there, so
Mhm.
I've only been in the town. But they had some wonderful blocks of cheese. It was this melted cheese thing that you would rake off some
Yeah,
of
they
this
heat
melted
it. They
cheese.
heat it.
They heat
into
it.
the,
And you
yeah.
milk.
No, that.
Oh my
good
gosh,
stuff.
was that good?
Yep.
Yep, that was fine stuff. So eventually I'll get to the top of Mont Blanc. And there
No
I will
hurry.
look for Gwendol's.
There. Yes.
I'm going to look everywhere for Gwendol's, but it's a lot cheaper. It'll cost you more than that just to get there. You might as well
True.
just
Well,
buy this
I
for
don't know if you
$2,400
could pay me to go look for Gwendol's because the area that these things come out from, you can be there looking for Gwendol and oh look, a piano-sized boulder just bounced down the mountain.
Right.
It's a
Yeah.
dangerous area out
Very.
there.
Yeah. 1 or 2 strawers a year, from what I understand.
Yeah.
Get it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Catch that boulder.
So it's easier just to get a hold of Richard or Christopher and tell them you want that mailed out to you.
Right. Mm.
No boulders
$2,400.
Yep. Just a wonderful gift in a box.
Yep.
Well, specimen number 4 is a very odd specimen. I can promise you, we've never had one of these on the show before.
We have never had one on the show before. And I thought these were, when we bought this collection I've been telling you about on the show so far, there was these cadmium-rich smithsonites. And I've been accustomed to the cadmium-rich smithsonite from a couple locations around the world, including Arkansas. But this is from Black Wolf Tunnel in New Mexico. And I was going, where the heck is that? And this actually has a very pleasing mustard yellow color. I don't know if it's gray poupon or not, but it's some sort
French's.
of mustard
Yeah,
color.
yeah.
A little,
I mean,
little spicy.
Yeah.
A little spicy mustard.
French's, yeah.
but it's a wonderful coverage on the matrix of this yellowish smithsonite. And it's a big crystal, another one in Richard's 11 centimeter trend here.
You're right.
But this one's 7.4 by 11 centimeters. And what was the county on this? I think it's even a weird county. It isn't like Socorro County where Kelly is.
Grant County.
Grant County. So Black Wolf Tunnel, Grant County, New Mexico. And Mr. Lees, who owns our company, Mr. Brian Lees, called one of his friends he used to field collect with in New Mexico and asked him about the smithsonite from the Black Wolf Tunnel. And the guy said, this was closed a long time ago. There are very few examples of this around. And I went out to the New Mexico Bureau of Mines Museum in Socorro, their website, and saw the picture of theirs that they have on display. And this one, in most respects, is every bit as good as the one they're treasuring in the New Mexico School of Mines museum exhibit. So, if you are a collector of the color suite that smithsonite occurs in, and you're looking for a wonderful locality for a cadmium yellow smithsonite, this particular specimen might be right up your alley.
This was the most uncommon color of smithsonite that I had seen, because I was familiar with blues, greens, even whites and pinks, but I had not seen a mustard yellow one like this.
Yeah, it's really a great specimen. It's not inexpensive, but for an 11 centimeter across smithsonite specimen of this color, it's really quite attractive. So I think you might want to get a hold of Richard on this one as well. What's the price, Rich?
Absolutely. We'll get there. We did mention that it's 7.4 by 11 centimeters?
I think we should.
The 11 centimeter club.
Right.
Yep.
And it's just $1,900.
$1,900.
Yep.
And you won't go wrong with this. And our friend Robert Lorda, who is in our laboratory and a world-class lab preparation specialist, a rock doctor, he trimmed this one into this beautiful final form. It's really nice and clean, and it's a beautiful piece. Very aesthetic. $1,900. Ask Richard about it.
Yep. And if you're not quick enough for this one, we do have a couple others. So
yes, we have 2 more, but only 3 total out of this collection.
Right.
And like I say, this was built over 40 years, and a lot of it was self-collected, or a number of the early pieces were self-collected by this gentleman and other famous field collectors. So kind of some fun stuff you won't see everywhere.
That's right. All right, specimen number 5.
Isn't that pretty?
Yep.
Very much so.
Yeah. It's a apophyllite on more than likely white stilbite. I haven't looked at it that close. But anyway, these are classics out of the Poon area in Maharashtra state, India. Really, really wonderful color contrast between the bright green apophyllite, divergent spray of these very sharply terminated crystals on this wonderfully contrasting white matrix.
Yep.
All crystallized, and quite a lovely piece. What's the size of this one, Richard?
No, this one comes in at 5.3 by 7.5.
Okay.
I'm trailing down towards the end of the show here.
Yep, but they're still small cabinet-sized pieces.
Right.
And very impressive ones at that. Where'd we find this one, Richard? Did this also
This was
come
also
on?
part of that collection, yes.
And like I mentioned, the gentleman who built this collection did a lot of field collecting early on, but as he realized that it was darn hard to dig things out of the ground that looked as pretty as this piece right here, he started using the silver pick, if you will, spending a few dollars to buy some really fine minerals.
Right.
And what we're showing on Minerals Live today are some of the more moderately priced specimens. We have pieces from this collection up into the 6 figures and well into the 6 figures.
Yep.
So you will see some incredible pieces from this collection at the HardRock Summit.
Indeed.
And it will be an evolution.
An evolution, yes.
And for this piece, again, the green is closer to the still photos, where
Right.
you're
Yes,
getting
it
a
is.
more minty bluish green than a yellow green.
I agree
yeah.
100%.
Turntable didn't work out so well.
But
At
yeah,
smithsonite, I desaturated a little too much, but this one's are pretty close.
Yeah.
and it's a great gemmy color to get in your cabinet too.
For
It
sure.
really is. And these are classic. This particular, now, India will have apophyllite into the day there is no more India, because they have the Deccan Plateau, which is full of zeolite minerals, and they will have them forever. But these particular ones out of the Poon district were found for the most part decades ago, and they are real classics, and that color contrast is killer. So it's a really important piece. And what were you getting for that again, Rich?
Today, let me get back to it here. Sorry. Here we go. It's $1,750.
Yep. And that's a beautiful classic piece. I remember my first Tucson show back in about, must have been about 1974. I went to my first one. What was his name? Rustam Kavala, I think, an Indian mineral dealer, Rusty Kavala. Had a batch of these that he had just found, and they were just the talk of the show. Everybody was all excited about those. And it was about 1974. Wow. Beautiful things.
And I understand they commanded quite the price at first.
They really did.
Yep.
Well, they were incredible.
Yep.
And they had some big plates with beautiful sprays of the apophyllite.
Right.
Here we go.
Yeah, we're heading into specimen number 6.
Yep.
Back to
a classic with our show.
Yes.
Minerals Live ends on a rhodochrosite.
Yeah. But this one's from South Africa.
That's right.
Yep.
This is, so they say, from the Schwanning 2 mine in northern Cape Province in South Africa, from the Kalahari manganese fields. And really beautiful, again, nice crust of crystallized rhodochrosite from the Schwanning mines.
Yep, great luster on it.
Yeah, great luster, really nice color. It's a little bit more pink to my eye than the turntable for some reason on this is really saturating it nicely.
Juicing that one just a little bit.
It's juicing it a little bit. But the still photo's pretty darn close.
Very true.
Yeah.
Maybe a little, but the luster is really, really good on it.
Yeah. And the crystal size is really small, but there is a crystallized surface and kind of, again, slight development of kind of botryoids there, hummocky mass, if you will, of rhodochrosite.
Right.
And just a lovely, lovely specimen. If you don't have a rhodochrosite from South Africa, from the Kalahari manganese fields, this is one that you might want to consider because it's, for rhodochrosite, fairly inexpensive.
And pinks and reds, when you can get them in your case, get them in your case.
Yeah, that's right.
They really pop.
Yep. What's the size of this one, Rich?
This one comes in at 5.7 by 7.5.
Yep. So again, another small cabinet-sized piece. Everything on this show today was a cabinet to small cabinet-sized piece.
Right.
So pretty impressive group of minerals, and not busting the bank account too bad on any of these.
Right.
And just a lovely mineral specimen here. The rhodochrosite from the Schwanning mine in South Africa.
Just $1,400.
Yep, $1,400.
Yep.
And I love the way you've contrasted the font to the mineral. That red would have disappeared on this one.
Yes, we needed the green.
Yeah. So that's great.
Absolutely.
And you know, Richard?
Yes.
This is really cool.
Well, yeah.
This is a beautiful ad. Where is this ad going to appear?
That is going to appear in the Mineral Almanac. Ludmilla is really good to us. She really lays out, and her graphics team really lays out some fun ads for us.
Yes, she does.
Yep.
I am more impressed every time I see her work and their graphic arts team of what they do. And that was a beautiful wolfenite from Mexico.
Indeed.
Yeah.
The La Morita mine.
La Morita mine. Wonderful ad. So if you get the Mineral Almanac or want to get the Mineral Almanac from Russia, that is a great ad that we're going to have in that magazine.
Definitely a great magazine.
It was catching my eye the whole time I've been sitting here.
And it is translated into English, so if you want to subscribe, you can read it.
Yep.
So anyway, tomorrow you're heading down to the show, right, Christopher?
Yep, bright and early to start filling up those cases. What a chore.
Oh, boy. It's the fun part of the job, though. It really is.
It really is. It's always fun.
That and the road trips I find to be the most fun, for sure.
And you will have your first experience with writing massive quantities of invoices down at that show.
I'm going to practice.
All I can tell you is if the customer walks up to you and says, I have a tax number, you tell them, you better produce that license for us.
Give me the paper.
Because we need the paper. Show me the paper. Because we don't issue that tax-free sale without a tax license.
Documentation.
Yeah. So.
Yep. So
this has been fun.
Yeah.
It's been a lot of fun. And if you are enjoying the Minerals Live, make sure to like the video, subscribe, and if you want to be notified when the next one goes live, hit the bell there.
Ring the bell. Yep. Ding. We are loading all these up onto YouTube now. So
good.
Let's get used to that platform.
Yeah. They'll be very popular out there.
Yep. All right.
And we appreciate you tuning in to watch us because we blabble on, or I do, for 40 minutes to an hour each time.
Yeah.
And feel free to share the video around just after you've made your selection.
That's right. That's right. Get yours first and then pass it along. Anyway, it'll probably be a couple of weeks before we're back again. We're going to be a little busy the next couple of weeks doing the show and recovering from the show. But I would think by the 28th or 29th we should be back on the air.
And then Christopher and I are going to hit the road.
Indeed.
In the second week of October, we will go east, young man. So we're headed to Texas and points east to show van loads of minerals to collectors. So if you have an interest in meeting Christopher in person and seeing a van load of minerals arrive at your front porch, we would love to have you get a hold of us, and we'll put you on our tour.
And just in case that we don't have a chance to record a show in between, Christopher is going to be doing double duty. As soon as he gets back with Steve, he's going to go turn right back around and go out with me to the West Coast in early November. So,
so we're going to be busy boys.
Yeah, you're going to see the whole country. So look forward to that for sure. All right, but I guess it comes to that point of the show where it's time to sign off.
And we promise in the very near future we're going to get a studio space where you can actually see more than Richard Jackson's armpit. I mean, armpit photos are always good,
right?
But we need to see a little bit more of Richard than the armpit. So there he is. Richard Jackson puts these things together every week, and he never even gets space on the camera.
Not anymore.
I'm pretty broad, so I take up at least half of the image. So we need to get a wide angle lens,
a bigger background, so we can sit a little farther away from the camera. So anyway, we'll work on it.
Thanks everybody for tuning in this week.
Yeah, you bet. Hopefully we'll see you at the HardRock Summit or the Crown Plaza.
Yep.
Take care, everybody.
See you later.
See ya.
Have a good one.